All right, welcome to Bullheaded episode. I guess you could say, I don't even know the episode number, but we will be starting NFL predictions today. Shout out to Zoo and Peebush. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Sean? How you doing,
Doing
man?
good. Fantasy football season's incoming, baby. I love this
Full
time
swing.
of the year, man. It's
First
a
draft
beautiful
tonight,
one.
baby.
Yes,
First
sir.
draft tonight.
Yeah, man. I'm still waiting on my fantasy football invite. I think we got one more week until my fantasy draft goes on, but we will be talking about the AFC today. A lot of different scenarios that could be going on in these divisions. I kind of stepped out on a limb last week and was talking about the AFC East. Kind of made more of a premature jump with Zach Wilson being more of a casualty for the Jets right now because he's not going to have his left tackle, lost his top pass rusher, and his top receiver. So, P-Bush, I'm going to start with you, man. Where do you see the AFC East going, and how the Jets may finish?
Well, I mean, I got to say, I was pleasantly surprised at a couple of the throws Zach Wilson was able to make. I mean, I think a lot of people just kind of slept on him a bit, coming out of BYU and all that. But hey, man, I hope he turns things around for them in the long run. I don't think it's going to happen in 1 year. This team's not going to be making the playoffs, especially in a division with, the third favorite to win the Super Bowl in the Buffalo Bills right now, that were the best offensive team last year, and pretty much in most categories, especially on third down and fourth down, which are everybody knows crucial. Over 50% on those. So, and unfortunately, I got to see Mitchell Trubisky torch the Bears. In the Bills offense, man. He looked like a Pro Bowl quarterback. I have no idea how to explain it. He's a happy guy. Got to give him a quick shout out. I'm glad that he's happy. But I do not want the Bears to be losing 41-9 on a week-to-week basis. That being said, man, I got to go with the Bills. Overall, I think they're going to go like 13-4. They're going to tear it up this year. I mean, I like Diggs coming back, another rep year with Josh Allen there. Devin Singletary, I think he needs to have a breakout year. If they really want to balance that offense to, really make a push against the Chiefs in the AFC or the Bucks in the Super Bowl, they have to get their rushing attack going just beyond Josh Allen trying to run for 70 yards a game. Because they do have a decent opponent in Miami in their division. It all kind of rests on Tua. They don't have Fitzmagic as a backup this year. Tua is pretty much their guy unless they pull a God trade for Deshaun Watson like Sean's been talking about. But I like the Dolphins, man. They have a good defense. I think they finally bought into Brian Flores' system after they just missed the playoffs last year. And I think they have a good running game. They added Waddle to their wide receiver core that was already pretty strong with Devontae Parker there. So out of that division, I know, the Patriots are there. Their quarterback situation's a little iffy right now with, Cam's got some sort of sickness right now. So it looks like Mac Jones might get the nod for week one. He's going to be trotting out there like he's Brady in his first appearance, man. But look, I think in the end of the day, I think the Patriots will hover around hover one, half game below 500. Jets probably getting 5 to 6 wins, maybe if it's a good year for them. And I got the Bills winning, and I got the Dolphins making the wild card spot. So 10-7.
Wow. Like, I think we both agree that the Jets are irrelevant, unlike Sean. The Jets are irrelevant. Zach Wilson's a cute player, rookie, man. He might have some nice throws, but, man, he's a non-story, man. The Jets are a non-franchise. So I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins. I feel like all three of these teams are actually all solid teams. And I'm going with the New England Patriots winning the division. The New England Patriots are coming back with the vengeance, with their elite defense. Hopefully Cam Newton gets his stuff together. He plays every game because they got him some weapons because they spent all their money in free agency. True. Bill Belichick is extra motivated after seeing his former QB, Tom Brady, winning a championship in his first year without him. And we're questioning, man, is Bill that good? Like we're starting questioning, is Bill Belichick, like maybe he was just riding the bandwagon while Tom Brady just hopping on franchises, just winning championships right now. So he's a little extra motivated. I think Cam Newton's pretty much playing for his QB life right now, starting QB life right now, because obviously they drafted first-round QB in Mac Jones, who's probably the future. But Cam Newton still wants a job in the NFL, so I feel like he's extra motivated. And I just feel like the defense of the New England Patriots is just phenomenal. Obviously, Bill Belichick with the defensive mindset. And, man, Cam Newton offense and they got, like Jonnu Smith, man, I don't know, that dude's injured again. But, man, oh, man, they got some weapons for Cam Newton to start seeing if they could get the offense rolling. Because if they have an average offense, I think they can win the division. And I feel like Josh Allen is going to have a regression to the mean season. Last year, I was super high on Josh Allen because usually QBs take 1 or 2 years and they make that jump. There's like a mental hurdle of transitioning from college to the pros. But I feel like last year, that season by Josh Allen, he was freaking historic, man. The amount of touchdowns this guy ran in, he was pretty much the RB1 of the team. Like Devin Singletary, like Zach Moss, like Josh Allen was pretty much the RB. The dude is massive. Like he's great at the 1 yard line. Like this dude's a machine. I feel like there's going to be a regression happening with Josh Allen because last year he had a historic Hall of Fame caliber season, and I don't think that's very repeatable year over year. Or he's going, or if he does, that means this dude's a top 5 QB. Like if he continues to put up numbers from last year, he's a top 5 QB, but I don't think he's there. He's still a young QB, so I feel like a regression is going to happen with them. Like Stephon Diggs last year also had a all-time great wide receiver season. Like just coming, which was super impressive. Just coming off the first year with the new quarterback, put over 1,400 yards, man, double-digit touchdowns. Like that is going to be hard to repeat. So I feel like last year the stars aligned on offense, and they were just whooping everyone. And I feel like a regression is coming. But I had them at number 2, and I got the Dolphins at number 3. But Tua, I'm still not sold on Tua. I can't figure it out. He could be average. Like I don't think he could be great, but I think he could just be an average QB. But I don't think he has greatness potential. So Dolphins, obviously, Myles Gaskin, he's not that exciting. Like their offense, whatever. Mike Gesicki, nah. Very boring offensive team. So I'm going with the Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, and the Jets in last place.
And do you have the Bills making a wild card spot?
I do have the Bills making one of the wild card spots.
Okay.
But I got the Patriots winning division.
I think you got a good point there, but you know, with the Bills, I don't agree with your Patriots take. I think if the Patriots were to make the playoffs, it would be over the Dolphins. I think the Bills will win the division just because, I mean, look, man, if Mitch Trubisky can fit in their system and do what he did, I don't have any problem seeing Josh Allen continue to do that. Will he have the season he did? No, probably not. He probably won't repeat the numbers that he did. But can he get them just enough better than those 3 other teams that really haven't? Obviously, I'm sorry, I should disregard the Jets in this conversation. But the Patriots and the Dolphins, they're both kind of unsure right now. We know how good the Bills can be, right? So that's why I have them winning the division. I think the Dolphins, it's all on Tua, man. I mean, he has no golden parachute waiting for him if he were to get injured in that team. So that one's going to be interesting. I think, Sean, you made me think about this one a little bit more, but I still completely disregard the Jets as well.
I think, you know what I just thought was interesting with both teams, with the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills? I'm with Zoo with Josh Allen. I don't know if his year is repeatable. He also has a contract extension that he just got, so I don't know if he's going to be able to live up to that in his second year. And I also think with the Dolphins, they're sneaky because I think their defense is really good. They got an all-pro corner. I think with Jalen Waddle, they have another number 2. I think Kenny Stills. And I think Preston Williams, who was kind of a fantasy sleeper for me, but he got hurt early, or Devontae Parker, he might still be there. That's 3 solid weapons for Tua. So I could see Miami kind of running away with the division. The only way I'm with Zoo with the Patriots is because they're getting all that defensive help back. A lot of those guys opted out last year. So I could see that being a big factor for the Patriots. So, but yeah, my Jets might be a little injuries, man. But I'm telling you right now, I know you got a draft coming up, P-Bush. The dude, Elijah Moore.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm telling you. He's going to be a 50 catch guy.
You get that dude in the hundreds, man. He's like an 11th, 12th round pick, man. You get him late if you want him.
I don't know. That's going to be Zach. It's going to be either him or what's his name, Jamison Crowder, making catches.
Nah, Jamison Crowder got better odds, man. I'm showing up, man. Jamison Crowder, man. My Lord. Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
It's crazy. But switching from the AFC East, I'm going to throw a little curveball. We can go into the AFC North. I don't know AFC North-wise who you guys got in terms of players that might be or teams that might be winning that division. And Zoo, I want to start with you, man. What do you think about the AFC North?
AFC North, I got the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Baltimore Ravens being the team Oh, man, I feel like Lamar Jackson, last year he took a step back from his MVP year. I call it the MVP regression, man. Every time he hit an all-time season, it is really hard to replicate. And Lamar Jackson actually had a decent season, but he just fell off comparably. So I have him bouncing back, taking back the number 1 seed. Lamar Jackson is going to put up another historic season, multiple rushing touchdowns, 1,000-yard season again, throw over 30 passing touchdowns. So I got them winning. Cleveland Browns, close second. I think they have the best offensive line in football. Nick Chubb is one of my most favorite players in fantasy football. Like, if you got one of those late picks, you could get Nick Chubb's at the turn, man. Nick Chubb's is an RB1. The dude's, I think, one of the best runners in football. So you got Nick Chubb's, Kareem Hunt. The Cleveland Browns, they're number 2, but Baker Mayfield, I'm still not sold on Baker Mayfield, man. I'm still not sold on Baker Mayfield, and I'm not sold on Big Ben Roethlisberger, man. Big Ben, that dude should retire soon, man. I'm surprised next year he's not going to be in an ESPN booth doing commentary, because I feel like he's closer to that than being an NFL quarterback. So I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 3, and Lamar Jackson, by far the best quarterback in the division. So I got the Baltimore Ravens, and then the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't even need to talk about them, man. Joe Burrow's cute quarterback coming off injury. Joe Mixon, I love him as a player, but the offensive line is horrendous, even though they got lots of nice wide receiver weapons. So I got the Bengals down below, but man, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson with the bounce back season, going to be putting up an MVP caliber season. I got the Baltimore Ravens stepping back up again.
Wow. So you got the Ravens winning the division, Zoo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
I got no doubt. I'm very high on Lamar Jackson. And this year, last year I was a year early on J.K. Dobbins. This is his year. No more Mark Ingram.
This is his
year.
No
more Mark Ingram, man. No more Mark
I agree.
Ingram. Hopefully Gus Edwards takes the seat. Because if J.K. Dobbins gets the carries, man, I feel like this year he's going to be putting up 1,100, 1,200 yards rushing, man.
I mean, in that offense, you'd better hope so, because they didn't really give too much. They didn't really give too much to Lamar, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins is washed.
Yeah, and look, Zoo, even if they would have gotten, like, let's just say the Bears didn't franchise Allen Robinson, Baltimore was a big destination that he was supposed to go to if he had to sign somewhere. If they had added him, I still don't even know if I'd be that as high as you are, I should say, on this team, just because I don't think Lamar can actually get him the ball. And I think that's where
they're not going to be winning by passing. It'll be by running the football, man. They got to win it by their way.
And that's the thing is, so I have him second, and I have him making the wild card, but they're both. So I have the Browns at 12-5, and I have the Ravens at 11-6. I think the Browns. I think the Browns are not a Cinderella story, dude. They were one fumble recovery away from beating the Chiefs last year.
Okay, you forgot about Patrick Mahomes not playing.
Chad Henne game.
You're right.
Man.
Yeah.
You're right. That's fine. But look, they're proving that in a big game that they can at least make a push for a team that literally hasn't even touched that portion of the season in God knows how long. So right. I think that it gave them good experience. I don't care who they were playing against. It was still a one and done game. It was a boring game there in the beginning. But look, man, I think that tandem, as you were talking about, Zoo, they are deadly in that backfield in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I don't think they're going to I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to necessarily do as well, maybe score as many touchdowns as he did last year. But I think OBJ coming back, look, man, he's got to prove himself. He has to prove himself.
Him and Baker, they're off chemistry-wise.
They're off really chemistry. Weird. If they can figure that out and Baker takes the next step, at least being able to single-handedly carry some games and not only rely on Nick Chubb at the 1-yard line, I think that they could easily win this division. They have a hell of a defense. They lost 2 of their young secondary guys, Grant Lip and Greedy Williams, a safety and a cornerback, who are now healthy. Pretty good defense. I mean, I think they could take the next step. It'll be neck and neck between these two because, Zoo, I agree with you. I'm not buying the Steelers this year, man. They have the toughest schedule in the league, rightfully so, because they were the biggest fluke of an 11-0 team in NFL history. So they rightfully got the hardest schedule in the NFL this year. I think they're going to I think they're going to hover around 8-9, 9-8. I do think Najee Harris could be super good on that team.
He's a potential fantasy superstar, man, because the amount of carries, he might be getting 18 to 20 touches a game in that offense, because Mike Tomlin, he likes riding one running back, man. He made James Conner relevant. Like James Conner, I told you, I was never sold on James Conner as a talent,
No.
but in an offense where he gets all the carries, you're going to be putting up numbers. Like give him 20 touches a game, man. He could easily get 80, 85, 90 total yards per game. So I feel like Najee Harris this year, fantasy football, he's gonna be a stud, man. He might be a first round pick next year, like consensus, but as a team, nah.
Yeah, I don't like him as a team, even though they do have hell of a good young wide receiver core. You know, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, you know, Juju thrown in there as well. But it's once again, it's really coming down. And I think there's a lot of teams this year where it's just how's the quarterback play going to be? Because I don't want Mason in there and getting dents in his head again, man. I mean, that just can't happen for him as a healthy individual, but also for that team. I think they'd have to blow it all up. And, you know, keep their young core and really have to just kind of start over at the quarterback position because Ben Roethlisberger can't carry anymore. We clearly saw him fading a little bit last year. And, Bengals, not too much to be said there. They're still growing. I think they do have a slightly bit brighter of a future than the New York Jets as long as Joe Burrow can bounce back off his injury year. But, man, Zoo, I got Browns, Ravens, then Steelers, and then the Bengals bringing it home in fourth, but that's my second wild card team. I got the Ravens in there.
The Ravens? Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. I'm really high on them, fantasy-wise and real-life-wise, man. Fantasy and real life, man. Yeah, but, man, going from the Ravens, we got to talk about the best team in football. The Kansas City Chiefs division, baby. The AFC West, man. And this one, there's going to be no debate on the top. Patrick Mahomes' team, man. They solidified that offensive line that got killed by major injuries last year, which ruined their Super Bowl run. So they solidified that. Patrick Mahomes is back with the two best weapons in the NFL, and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, man. I am not sold on CEH because last year he was given the opportunities and he looked like a dud, man. He didn't look that impressive at all. He doesn't even pass the eye test, man. He's a little small, little scrawny little dude, man. He doesn't even look like a 3-down back, a true 3-down back. He looks more like Tariq Cohen than Ezekiel Elliott. So I'm not sold on CEH yet. And they spent a pretty high draft capital on him. So they have all the incentive in the world to make it work, but that won't be an issue because they'll be chucking the ball 30, 40, 50 times a game. So they ain't worried about the Chiefs. But outside of that, man, the San Diego Chargers.
Los
Angeles Chargers, man. I forgot there's a name change. But I got them number 2, man. They got rid of that head coach that blew every fourth quarter of games. I forgot the guy's name because he's so irrelevant. That dude got fired. They blew every game last year. See, maybe in the fourth quarter they could get it done. I think his name. That running back coach. That guy was a scrub. He got fired because they couldn't get it done in the fourth quarter clutch. But, man, their offense is quite beautiful. Like, man, oh, man, the rook coming off the second year, man. Let's see if he's the real dude. Justin Herbert, as a sophomore player, let's see if that first year was just a one-hit wonder or if he's a stud. Because coming off of the rookie year, man, he's freaking incredible. So him and Keenan Allen, man, oh, man, that combination with Austin Eckler, that offense is going to be pretty nice. So I got the Chargers at number 2. And then the rest, Denver Broncos, dead last, man. I see Teddy Bridgewater, and I see a fill-in cute quarterback, man. That dude's got 1 year away from getting replaced by Aaron Rodgers, man. That's what they're doing. Teddy Bridgewater is the ultimate stopgap for quarterback, and they're not going all in. They got a nice little defense, but offensively, and they got some nice receiver going Sutton, man, Jerry Jeudy, but you know Teddy Bridgewater, definition of mediocre, man, mediocre. So I got them last.
Game manager.
Yeah, like I'm still surprised he's been in the NFL and getting starting jobs, man. He's been getting starting jobs everywhere. But after that, and the Raiders, man, this is such an interesting team. Josh Gruden. That guy got paid a lot of money to be a head coach.
And hasn't done squat.
Yeah, hasn't done anything, man. Vegas Raiders, the only thing they've done is they actually beat the Chiefs last year, but that's pretty much it. So that's the only accomplishment they got. And I don't know, Vegas Raiders, man, like I still don't know what the signing with Kenny and Drake was for. Like Josh Jacobs was a pretty solid running back. They got Kenny and Drake, and Sean knows all about Kenny and Drake. Former second overall pick, Kenny and Drake. So that dude was a definition of a bust last year. So then the Cardinals had to let him go, and I'm surprised the Raiders picked him up because I think Josh Jacobs is a pretty solid RB. So I don't know, like, are they going to be trying to go run heavy the entire game and get the ball out of Derek Carr's hand? Like, I'm not sure. Like, Darren Waller, that dude's a beast. Pretty much they use him like a wide receiver. Yeah, the dude gets a lot of targets. But Derek Carr, he's another average/mediocre quarterback. So I got him bottom there with the Broncos, man. They can fight for last place, but they are the definition of irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, Zoo, I have it in the exact order that you do. Pretty much for that division. I mean, you got to go Chiefs. There's no question about it. Maintaining pretty much their entirety of their team, adding to that offensive line, solidifying it. I do think CEH could at least have a breakout year. He had injury issues last year, ended up getting benched for like a game. Unfortunately, he was my first overall pick last year in fantasy football. I was in no man's land and had to pull the trigger on that or James Conner. It was a lose-lose. And look, it didn't pay off for me. I think he'll bounce back. I don't think he's going to be like a top 10 running back or anything like that. But as long as they can use him in the passing game a bit, I think it would definitely benefit Mahomes, even open up more for Kelsey and
Man, oh man, I think we lost Pat again, man. He's talking about trying to use CEH in the offense, but man, I ain't buying that, man. I ain't buying CEH, man. Last year they were picking up RBs for days. Like they got an old
fat and some of the things that
man.
Herbert was able to do in his first year. I mean, people had him, getting top 10 nods, in his first year. I mean, you don't see that often with these quarterbacks. And look, they have Keenan Allen there. I love him as a weapon. The Chargers are going to end up being a wild card team this year. They're going to be the second in the division, and they're going to be 10-7. Man, I got them as the final wild card spot. Obviously, there's tiebreakers and all that with the Dolphins, but I think they're going to be the surprise team this year to make a push. Finally,
Chargers. Yeah, their offense is really interesting, man. Especially fantasy-wise, man. I'm looking at a lot of those guys on the fantasy roster, man. Still can't figure out Austin Eckler, man. That dude's a definition of a hybrid running back. So, man, oh man, the Chargers are an interesting team, and I think we lost P. Bush again, man.
Yeah, I think I want to go into a case for the Chargers in winning that division.
Winning the division? Okay, let's hear another hot take from Sean.
I think the Chargers have a chance. I think the Chargers have a chance to maybe win the division just off these two additions. Asante Samuel Jr., who's already been showing out in the preseason, making interceptions and playing great at slot corner, and Derwin James coming back. I think Derwin James running around in the Chargers secondary is going to give them an element in their defense that may be able to slow down a Kelsey. I don't think he can run with Tyreek, but it might. I think the Chargers as a whole have a really good defense, and I think that could be something that could get because last year they had KC beat like 21-9, I think, through the first three quarters, and then KC just charged back, and they blew back, or they came back. So that was when Justin Herbert was young, like it was his first couple of starts. So for me, I think the Chargers have a chance if they can split that game, they could win that division.
Wow. That's a freaking hot take, man. Taking the Chargers over Patrick Mahomes in that offense? Okay. Good luck, Sean.
I don't know, man. Derwin James coming back. He's a good safety coming back. And Asante Samuel on defense. Those are going to be two major pickups. And it's in the passing game. So I think Mahomes, I want to see how his line does with the Chargers and the defenses in that division. Because they're replacing two great starters. I mean, I wouldn't say great starters, but they're replacing two good guys at one offensive line. So I want to see how they do.
They're Pro Bowlers, though, man.
Who was the guy? Orlando Brown, and what's the other guy?
Man, I don't know. He's a big dude, man. He's a big dude, and all you got to do is block, man. He's a big dude, 300 pounds. Just block for Mahomes, man. That's your only job. So they pay him big money, so let's have the boys show up to guard Mahomes, the prime jewel of that KC offense and that franchise. And, Mahomes is going to run it back, man. He's running it back. He wants vengeance after that pathetic Super Bowl performance by the Kansas City offense, because that was a joke, man. That game wasn't even fun to watch because of how lopsided it was, the offense versus the defense. So yeah. I feel like KC, man, they're going to be come back for vengeance, man. They're not satisfied with one title. They're talking about dynasty, man. They're talking about a dynasty after only one championship over the 49ers. Come on now. Come on, you got to win more than one championship to be talking about a dynasty. So, man,
Yeah.
KC, I think they're going to be back. They're going back to the Super Bowl, man. They're going back to the Super Bowl, man. They're gonna easily win the division, so you get that bye. I think they're gonna be the best team in the AFC, so they're gonna get that bye. And all they gotta do is win 2 games. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Them and Buffalo's gonna be fighting. I think,
Come on, Buffalo.
I think
Man.
Buffalo's gonna be
Come
fighting
on,
for the
man.
number 1 seed, man.
Number 1 seed?
Yeah.
Now in that division? Well, man, what happened to your Jets, man? They're not gonna take any wins from them?
Listen, man. They lost Mekhi Becton. He came in overweight. They lost their left tackle. They lost their best pass rusher. One of their number 2 receiver, Denzel Mims, hurt for the year. Like, they're losing a lot of guys, man. I gotta amend my take on that.
Man, you got them winning like 10 games to 2 games within a week, man.
Oh man, for real. But I know who won't be winning a lot of games is any of the teams in the AFC South outside the Titans.
Yeah.
I know that. That's a fact. We can
This is
put
the
money on
easiest
that.
division.
Seriously.
Man, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
They're
This is
bad.
awful, man.
First
Urban
play of the game.
Myers, dude, Urban Myers looks clueless.
He's always
He's
like,
He's gone after 1 year. I swear to God, he's gonna be so demoralized. He's gonna go back to Florida, damn near.
probably.
He's already there. He loves Florida for some
Oh
reason.
my
But yeah,
God.
dude, they're
Boy
gonna
brought in
be
Tebow.
bad, man. Them and the Texans are gonna be 2 of the top.
I
Three
forgot. Yeah,
worst
Texas
teams.
without freaking their quarterback, man. I don't even know who they're starting at QB.
Tyrod, I think.
I haven't heard any news about that entire team. I feel like in 3 months that has not been the name Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's defense atrocious. Like Jacksonville, Houston Texans be fighting for last place, and I don't know the Colts too with Carson Wentz. Dude's always injured, man. He's really coming in the season injured. I don't know how serious it is. They say he might be able to play early on, but I don't know. Carson Wentz is just always injured, man.
Yeah.
So I don't even buy the I like Jonathan
could be
Taylor as a
good.
fantasy player, but they got a really good offensive line. They're giving Carson Wentz pretty much a second chance of being a franchise quarterback after that debacle in Philly.
Top 3 defense, arguably.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a great defense, unbelievable running back and O-line. They just need to work on their weapons on the outside. I don't think that they've really invested enough in there.
Michael Pittman?
No, Michael Pittman's solid. I mean, they Ty.
Big dude, 6'4".
Yeah, Pittman.
T.Y.'s washed, man. That dude's a
Yeah,
for like
exactly. But I don't know. There's just nobody on there that's like a full-on playmaker. Pittman, maybe he becomes that guy. He could be a dark horse fantasy pick for me late in this draft coming up here for me. Thank you for the reminders. I might have to keep that in mind, man. But look, man, I don't see the Colts making that much noise, especially if Carson Wentz isn't playing for the entire year. But look, man, got to go with the Titans.
Yep.
King
It's got to
Henry,
be
man.
the Titans, man.
And now
It's
they got
gotta be
added
it.
Julio to
Oh.
AJ Brown. Man, they got you know what they got? They got the scariest looking team on the NFL, man. They're the best team
Absolutely.
to look at. You see those boys walk out, man. Julio, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry. Holy crap, man! I'll be intimidated.
I'm getting back
by
on
those
the
boys.
bus.
Man, that team is just fucking massive, man. Holy cow!
mean,
Fantasy
it's all in
wise, 3
Tannehill.
studs, man. Oh yeah,
It's all in Tannehill.
and you're the biggest Tannehill fanboy, right? The dude's like one of your fantasy season, man. You think Tannehill's going to be able to feed everyone?
I think he can. I mean, look, man, he doesn't make too many mistakes, and he gets rushing touchdowns, which is actually really clutch for fantasy. Gameplay wise, look, man, he's got 2 guys that he can throw the ball up to now, and they can go up and get it. Not many quarterbacks have that ability, let alone 1 guy. He has 2. Now, that's obviously if Julio's hamstring stays healthy, which you never really know.
You better
with
be,
him.
man. I got Julio on one of my teams already.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, good draft pick. I think they did lose their offensive coordinator, which I think did a shuffle. But look, man, they got Julio Jones back. They got Julio freaking Jones back. Who would have thought that they'd actually make a trade and trade him away? I can't, even though he's older and he's a little bit injury prone, that'd be like if the Lions had traded Calvin Johnson, man. Like, arguably, it's a not far off comparison. And he would rather have retired. But look, he's on a contender now. I do have them winning the division at 12-5, and I have making the AFC Championship game and losing to the Bills, man.
What? You hear did I hear the Bills?
Yeah, you heard that right.
What?
Whoa.
Where's KC? Yeah, KC losing to the Bills?
Yes, I do.
I think I have them meeting. I don't have them
Sorry.
losing.
No. I had the Titans beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, should have stuck with the first one, people.
No.
Do a run over
Because the Bills, because I got the Chiefs as the 1 seed, Bills as 2, Browns
Yeah.
3, Titans are the worst of the division winners, and then I got Ravens wild card, Chargers, then Dolphins. So Browns beat Chargers, Bills beat Dolphins, Titans beat Ravens, and then the Titans beat the Chiefs, and the Bills beat the Browns to reach the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
Bills Bucks Super Bowl, baby.
Yuck.
Bills? Bucks?
I think so.
Bills. Wow. You hired
Yeah.
Josh Allen, huh, man? You feel
Yeah.
like Josh Allen can repeat that? Man, oh man. Is that a Chipotle
I don't think
bet,
he'll
man?
repeat. I don't think he'll repeat the same season. He's not going to have that historic.
Yo, Pat, is that a Chipotle bet, man?
He's not going to have the. He's not going to have the historic season, man. He just won't. But I think he'll still have a good enough one.
Man, I don't know what's wrong with their connection, but is that a Chipotle bet, man? Man, I think we lost Pat again.
I don't.
Dude, we got a storm here in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Wi-Fi is going in and out.
He wanted to know if that was a Chipotle bet.
But no, Zoo, he won't repeat.
I don't think he can hear us.
No, he probably can't.
Was that a Chipotle bet, Zoo?
Oh, yeah, he can hear us.
Ah.
And I think we lost him.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs, man. That's going to happen, man. That's the Buffalo Bills disappearing on the Kansas City Chiefs if they match up in the playoffs, man. Man, if they match up in the playoffs, man, I am so confident that this team, this offense, because they're going to be trying to go for a shootout. They play the Buffalo Bills, man, try to outscore each other. Like both teams, defense ain't going to be showing up. So offensively, if you're going to be in a shootout with the Kansas City Chiefs, you take KC all day, man, all day.
Yeah, when it comes to shootouts, I think Patrick Mahomes is definitely going to be the type of guy that you're going to want to have in a shootout because that's what he does best. He has the weapons. I think one thing with Patrick Mahomes and his receivers, McCole Hardman, I think he's going to step up as a number 2 besides
Really?
Tyreek Hill. Yes, I do, because I think Sammy
Really?
Watkins
I
being
don't
gone.
like him.
You don't like him?
He's
I think he
He's
was
fast.
young. Yeah, he's fast.
He's fast. He's not that great at catching. Like he was pretty irrelevant last year. Like I forgot he played sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I see him in the box score with just like 10 yards.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a chance. Either him or Demarcus Robinson. I don't know if Demarcus Robinson's still there, but I know one of those two are going to step up because Sammy's kind of going to be out of there. I mean, he is out of there. He's playing for the Ravens now, I think. But one thing I wanted to go back to was the AFC North. And I think with Lamar, they have to change the offense around him because of what he's done. But I do think he's going to have a number 1 guy probably around week 8 or week 9 with Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman's going to be.
You're that high on the young.
I think Bateman's going to be good for them because Marquise is going to be a guy that takes the top off. They already have Mark Andrews as the tight end. And I think Bateman's going to run those routes underneath and get some really easy catches from Lamar. Lamar is not a guy that's going to be throwing it 45, 50 yards down the field, but I think Bateman can run those underneath routes, and he's going to eat. I think he's going to eat.
So you're saying this dude is the next Jamison Crowder, huh?
Jamison Crowder's 5'9" and does nothing but what would you say? Comeback routes.
Yeah, those curls,
doing curls, comeback routes, and all that stuff. I don't think he's going to be that. People said he got kicked out. I think it's just because of the storm.
Man.
But
yeah,
man.
This Bateman guy, huh? You think he's that legit? Because I don't know. I didn't even consider that guy for my Baltimore Ravens prediction, man. I'm just pretty much relying on the running game, man. Just run the ball as many times as possible, man, because you got 2 of the best runners in the NFL.
Yeah, I think they definitely have running backs. You got to cater everything towards, like, if the Ravens are going to win the, AFC North, it's going to be based off the running game. Everything's going to be based off of Lamar, his legs, getting out of the pocket, throwing things in the pocket, getting players that are able to run around. But I think with Bateman, he's going to end up being the number 1 guy because Lamar, like I said, he doesn't stretch the ball down the field. He kind of throws a lot of underneath routes. He's going to be using his legs, and Bateman's going to get open. And he was a first-round receiver for a reason. Now, the guy I think that's going to maybe suffer a little bit is Marquise because Marquise was a number 1 guy last year, but He's
He was
not
bad.
really the type.
He's not a number one wide
Yeah, he's not a
receiver.
number one for Lamar. Lamar needs a big guy, 6'2", 6'3", that can run around underneath routes, that can go vertical, that can do post routes. Lamar needs that, and they need to pay him.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know why they.
He wants to. He wants to have Patrick Mahomes money, man. He wants that Patrick Mahomes money.
Well, what did Josh Allen get? Josh Allen got something similar to Patrick Mahomes. He just got less years.
Yeah, he got over like 160 million guaranteed, over 200 mil.
Crazy.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Man.
That's going to be a guy that's going to be regression to the mean.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I'm telling you, man. Last year, I was hyping up the Josh Allen hype wagon, man, and people in fantasy always overreacting after one great season, man. One great season doesn't mean you're at that level. You go up there, that's your peak, and then you're usually down here in the middle, man. So Josh Allen, regression's happening. And then I got Lamar Jackson regressing back up, man. I got Lamar Jackson regressing back up, and I am confident that the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs, man, going to happen in the playoffs.
We got to see that. That's going to be a matchup for a lifetime.
That'd be beautiful,
we definitely got to see that. Who do you think is going to have home field advantage in that? KC?
KC.
Yeah.
I think just offensively, they're just we have never seen a team like this, man. Like offensively, they're just so skilled at every position. Even though I'm not the biggest CEH fan, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, you got two Hall of Famers.
I don't know. Kelce cut the beard, man. He might have.
You're looking a little weird without the beard, man.
Yeah. I didn't even know he had a brother that was the center for the Philadelphia Eagles. Did not know that. Yeah, did not know that. He had, I don't know what his brother's name is, but I saw he had like the same face. I was like, is that his brother? He was snapping at Jalen Hurts. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, so these were our AFC predictions. Sorry guys, people just got kicked out early, but you heard his prediction of who he had. He had
the
Cleveland Browns,
Buffalo
Bills,
Tennessee Titans, and Kansas City Chiefs, and he got the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC.
Yeah, shout out to P. Bush, man, for going out on a limb. Way bigger than what I did with the Jets. I think with the Jets, it was a little bit more of a, let's just throw a little bit of bait out there. And then when I saw these injuries, their left tackle came in 40 pounds overweight, man, and then got a concussion. What am I supposed to do with that, man? Like, and then Mekhi Becton comes in 40 pounds overweight, and then he fucking, excuse my language, but then he freaking gets a concussion, and then it's just, I don't know. Zach Wilson's going to have a tough year, I think. But, shout out to all the AFC predictions. I'm hoping all you guys listen to the podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to Bullheaded_pod. We got a lot of great content coming out. Football is right around the corner. I think college football starts this weekend. NFL football will be starting in a couple of weeks. So make sure you guys tune in to the page on Bullheaded_pod so we can get a lot of so I can get a lot of content out to you guys. And as always, for me, Zoo and P. Bush, we're out.